The purpose of this video is to provide refresher training and supplemental audio-visual reinforcement to the operation and maintenance manual which is supplied with this equipment. The Combat Service Support Very Small Aperture Terminal, or CSS Vsat, is a 1.2-meter satellite system designed to provide logistic warfighters with worldwide data and voice communications via access to the NIPRNet. This is the Army's version of the Internet, providing sensitive but unclassified information. The CSS Vsat system consists of up to 5 cases weighing approximately 520 pounds. Utilizing two-person safe lift and carry procedures, we will show you the contents of each case, the proper unpacking, setup, basic troubleshooting, as well as shutdown and packing procedures. First, let's take a look at the entire satellite network, so you'll understand how your communication system reaches back. The CSS Communications Network provides global service by way of multiple satellite coverage areas or beams. These cover a wide area such as CONUS, Europe, and Southwest Asia. The satellite path or link allows each terminal to connect to a teleport or hub antenna. Please refer to your Operation and Maintenance Manual or Operations Review Guide for further information. First, let's start with the initial placement of the cases. Remember, these cases are heavy, so ensure the use of the two-person lift rule. You will need the antenna pedestal case, the RF equipment case, and the reflector case in a location that has a clear view of the desired reference and data satellites, and must also be no more than 114 feet from the indoor equipment. Remember, satellites orbit over the equator. Therefore, if you are north of the equator, you should point the Vsat approximately south, and if you are south of the equator, point the Vsat approximately north. Next, unpack and identify the antenna pedestal case components. Place the case on a flat surface and inspect all components. The antenna pedestal case contains the following: the auto-acquire antenna pedestal, the control box, and mounted in the lid are 2 outriggers and the hand crank for manual operation. Remove the 2 outriggers from the lid and install them in the threaded holes located on the front and rear of the antenna pedestal case. The outriggers are used to stabilize, level, and raise the base of the antenna pedestal. Raise them up enough to ensure the system is off of the lower case shock mounts. Ensure that the control box power switch is set to off, the down position. Next, unpack and identify the RF equipment case components. This case contains the following: low noise block down converters 1, 2, and 3, referred to as the LNBs, a compass inclinometer, a ground fault interrupter AC power cord, VoIP phones and accessories, the antenna feed horn with 4-watt block-up converter, referred to as the buck, 120-foot cable reel and IFL or interfacility link, a binder with baseline and script discs, the satellite reference card, and the operation and maintenance guide. Next, unpack the reflector case. The reflector case contains the antenna feed boom, 2 antenna feed struts, and the 2-piece 1.2-meter reflector. Next, unpack and identify the indoor equipment case and its components. The indoor equipment case is a 4-rack unit that includes the equipment to connect a user's local area network or LAN to the global satellite network. The modem tray holds the satellite modem, connections to the 8-port Ethernet switch, and the PSU board, which is the interface board for the antenna pedestal. The zippered pouch in the inside cover contains the handheld controller for the antenna controller unit, or ACU, and reusable fan filters. The laptop TMW, or Terminal Management Workstation, provides access to the software applications used in terminal operation. These include Vsat and iSight for terminal monitoring and control, and Internet Explorer to view Army Knowledge Online and other browser functions. We will now go over system setup. For further information, refer to the deployment card included with the system. Be sure that the antenna power switch and RF power switch on the front panel are set to off, and the circuit breaker on the rear is set to off, the down position. Connect the power cable to the back of the indoor equipment case. Take the cable reel and the GFI power cord and place them no more than 6 feet from the indoor unit. Ensure the 6-foot section of cable on the side of the reel is secured and your hands are free from the reel. Release the brake by moving the lever to the soft or free position, whichever you prefer. Unroll the amount of cable that you need, then connect the cable to the I/O box on the pedestal. Make sure to never connect or remove the cables with power applied. Connect the antenna side interfacility link or IFL cable to the control box. After connecting to a suitable AC power source, press the reset button on the AC power cord GFI box if the green LED is not lit. Now turn the AC breaker on the rear panel of the indoor equipment case to the on-up position. Make sure that the rubber protective cover does not interfere with the lever. Turn the antenna power switch located on the front panel to the on-up position. These switches are of the locking type and must be pulled out slightly to move their position. Leave the RF power switch off at this time. Then head to the outdoor equipment. At the control box, set the power switch to the on position. Make sure the green LED is illuminated. Wait approximately 5 seconds, then hold the switch to the deploy position for 3 seconds or until the pedestal arm starts to deploy. When the pedestal stops moving, set the power switch to off. Lift the top half of the antenna and align it with the bottom half while it is still in the case. Push the T-pin connector through the bottom portion of the antenna, rotate it 90 degrees, and lock it down. After removing the reflector from the case, lay it on its back on a clean, flat surface. Then, gently mount the feed boom to the top of the reflector and insert the locking pin. Attach the feed support struts from the dish to the feed boom using the locking sleeve ball and socket connections. Next, pick up the feed horn assembly. Make sure not to pick up the feed assembly by the feed waveguide or you will damage it. Align and connect the feed horn to the feed boom with the alignment pegs and captive thumb screw. Make sure you are using the proper LNB for your network area. Check the O&M manual, page 11, if you are not sure. Connect the transmit red cable to the buck and the receive blue cable to the LNB. Be careful not to cross-thread the connector. Remove the feed horn protective cover and place it back into the RF case. Your polarization will be either vertical or horizontal. Loosen the thumb screw and rotate the assembly 90 degrees until it meets positive stop for either vertical or horizontal. Then retighten the thumb screw. Check with your CSS AMO to be sure of your settings. Mount the assembled reflector and feed assembly onto the pedestal. Use the quarter-turn fasteners to secure the reflector to the pedestal. Connect the cable assembly from the antenna feed boom to the corresponding cable from the antenna pedestal. Wrap the excess cable around the cable support bracket at the back of the reflector to secure. Now, set the power switch on the control box to on. Check for illumination and then head back inside. Vsat is a monitor and control software application developed to provide an easy-to-understand user interface for setup, operation, and configuration of GCS auto-acquire Vsat terminals. To begin using Vsat, turn the RF switch on the indoor unit to on. This initializes the modem. Open the laptop tray and pull it out until it locks in place. Turn on the laptop and use the proper username and password. Remember, 3 incorrect password entries will lock you out of the workstation laptop. You will need to wait 30 minutes before retrying. From the desktop, double-click the Vsat icon. Click the Login button. Select User. No password is needed. Once the modem has initialized for about a minute, the Receive LED on the front of the modem should be flashing or solid amber. Starting Vsat prematurely may result in incorrect indications. At this point, click Continue to start the application. Once Vsat is open, verify that the communications icons for the modem and ACU are green. Click the Startup System button and the Confirm window will appear. Click Yes, and then the Assemble Hardware box appears. Click OK, and a window requesting you to install the proper LNB will come up. After all are connected, click OK. The next window will say, "Do you wish to reset ACU frequency settings?" Select Yes. Ensure that the modem GPS icon indicates secure mode, showing a lowercase I, and the ACU GPS icon is green. Please note that the ACU GPS icon may take a few seconds to respond when first starting the system. All functions of the acquisition process are timed. If you see an error message, it is an indication that one or more steps in the process are taking longer than expected. The message will offer advice as to the possible cause. Please note that these pop-up messages will not stop the acquisition sequence. It should take between 5 and 15 minutes for the Vsat to enter the network from startup. Acquisition will be complete when the startup progress bar is completely lit and the IPNet icon in the status tree turns green. See pages 27 through 40 of the Operation and Maintenance Manual for a more detailed description of the Vsat screens. Once acquisition is complete, start Internet Explorer by clicking on the Start button and then choose the Internet Explorer icon. The default address is Army Knowledge Online. If you see the web page come up, you have successfully connected. Should you have difficulty connecting to the network, see page 24 of the manual for troubleshooting steps. External devices are connected to the terminal at the rear panel. 6 RJ45 type connectors provide access to the system's internal Ethernet switch. Each terminal is allocated an IP subnet block of addresses. These available static addresses are shown in the address table on the Operations tab of the Vsat program. Note that the first 2 addresses will always show in use as they are dedicated to the modem and TMW. Your Vsat comes with 2 voice-over IP phones which allow you to contact other Vsats in the CSS communications network. These phones are pre-configured and are set to use the last 2 IP addresses in your subnet IP block. They may be connected to any of the 6 ports of the indoor unit. Refer to your CSS Vsat ORG manual for more information on device or phone connections and settings. If you will be leaving the system for an extended period of time, you can shut down the Vsat software, the laptop, and the pedestal without moving the reflector. The dish will stay locked on the satellite. This procedure is useful if leaving the terminal unattended for a short period of time. Or you may completely shut down and pack up the system for storage. This section of the video will discuss the proper steps in sending your 1.2 meter terminal offline for storage using the included Vsat software. Refer to the teardown instruction on the back of your quick reference guide. You will begin on the Vsat setup screen. Click the Send Offline button under the Operations tab. Next, click the OK button on the Confirm window that will pop up. Once this is done, you will notice that the frame around the traffic meter box will turn yellow, and the Transmit, RF, SAT-Link, and IPNet icons in the status tree on the top left of your screen will change. This step will confirm that the terminal has been taken out of the network properly. Under the Operations tab, click the Shutdown button and click Yes on the Confirm window. Then click OK. Next, close the Vsat application by clicking the X on the top right of the application window. Select the Start and Shutdown button to power down the laptop. Secure the laptop into the IDU case by first releasing the locking tabs located on each slider under the laptop tray. Flip up the laptop's protective cover and secure using the 2 thumb screws located on the top corners of the cover. Turn the RF switch on the indoor unit to the off position. Turn the antenna pedestal power switch to the off position. Unwrap the cable from the rear of the reflector and disconnect it, being sure to replace the appropriate dust caps. Once the cable is disconnected, stow them on the rear of the pedestal in the attached clip. Remove the assembled reflector from the pedestal by turning the 4 quarter-turn fasteners in the rear center of the reflector. Have your assistant help secure the reflector during this step, as it is too large for one person to manage, especially on windy days. Lay the reflector on its back in a flat, dry location. Replace the protective feed horn cover. Disconnect both transmit and receive cables from the feed horn assembly. Remove the thumb screw holding the feed horn to the boom arm and gently place the feed horn in the RF case. Note, if the feed horn does not fit in the case, the polarity will need to be switched. This is done with the locking thumb screws near the buck. Rotate the feed assembly 90 degrees and secure in the RF case. Disconnect the support struts from the reflector. Then, remove the antenna feed boom using the push pin. Place the feed boom and support struts in the reflector case. Make sure to secure each part with the attached Velcro straps during shipment. Place the complete reflector into the case, bottom half first, the side opposite the black metal brace. Separate the 2 halves of the reflector using the 4 quick-release levers. Place the top half into the case with the round side of the reflector facing up. Be sure all the Velcro securing straps are attached and tight. Replace the lid and secure all latches. Next, on the antenna pedestal, turn the power switch to the on position. Then wait approximately 5 seconds. Press and hold the deploy stow switch in the stow position for 4 seconds or until the pedestal begins to move. Once the pedestal arm is completely down and has stopped moving, turn the power off. Turn the antenna power switch located on the front panel to the off position. Turn off the circuit breaker on the back of the indoor unit and now disconnect the cable from the pedestal I/O panel, making sure to secure all dust caps. Raise the feet on the outriggers until they are free. Then remove them from the pedestal case. Secure the outriggers inside the lid of the pedestal case with the black thumb screws. Conduct inventory, then replace the lid and secure all latches. Take the ends of the IFL cable and move the cable to a safe location, taking care to protect the connectors. Rewind the 6-foot section of IFL cable onto the side of the cable reel and secure with bungee cords. Bring the outdoor end of the cable to the reel to protect during winding. Then, remove the brake on the cable reel by setting the lever to the free or soft position. Slowly wind the cable back onto the IFL reel, protecting the connectors on the far end of the cable at all times. Once all of the cable is on the reel, lock the reel by moving the lever to the lock position. Place the cable reel on its side in the RF case. Conduct inventory and inspect the RF case and components. Replace the RF case lid and secure all latches. All outdoor equipment is stored at this time. Next, place the antenna control unit into the zippered pouch. Unhook the covers on each side of the indoor equipment case, install them on the front and rear, and secure all latches. This concludes the process of storing the Vsat unit. Please refer to your O&M for further troubleshooting, maintenance, and operational concerns. Thank you, and remember, communication is a key part of mission success.